Throughout the 20th century, multiple nations experimented with light armored vehicles designed specifically to be transported by aircraft or to operate in direct coordination with airborne forces. This documentary presents a complete reference catalog of every known light tank designed to fly on aircraft, either internally, externally, or as part of dedicated airborne deployment concepts. The focus is technical, systematic, and comprehensive. This reference-style overview covers the period from the interwar years through the late Cold War. The geographic scope includes the Soviet Union, the United States, the United Kingdom, and selected European states. Organizational logic follows a chronological and doctrinal structure, grouping vehicles by generation and airborne deployment method. All entries are examined strictly as airborne-capable light tanks, not general light armor. Early airborne armor concepts, interwar experimentation. Early airborne armor concepts, interwar experimentation. Antonov, a 40 flying tank developed in the Soviet Union by Antonov. The A-40 was based on the T-60 light tank. Its role was airborne armored support for paratroopers. The vehicle featured detachable wings and tail surfaces, allowing it to be towed by a bomber. The design eliminated the need for parachutes. Its relevance lay in proving the physical limits of glider-based armored delivery. T-37 airborne variant produced by the Soviet Union. The T-37 amphibious light tank was adapted for air transport. Its primary role was reconnaissance and infantry support. Lightweight construction and compact dimensions allowed external carriage under heavy bombers. Its continued relevance was its influence on later Soviet airborne armor doctrine. World War I. Purpose-built airborne light tanks. During the Second World War, airborne operations expanded rapidly, prompting more practical airborne tank designs. Tetrarch light tank designed in the United Kingdom by Vickers Armstrongs. The Tetrarch served as an airborne light tank. It was deployed using the Hamilcar glider. Armed with a 2-pounder gun, it provided direct fire support for airborne troops. Its low weight enabled glider transport, making it operationally viable during large-scale airborne assaults. M22 Locust developed in the United States by Marmon Harrington. The M22 Locust was designed explicitly for air transport. Its role was light armored support for airborne units. The tank featured reduced armor thickness and a compact turret to meet weight limits. Its use demonstrated the trade-off between protection and deployability. T-60 air transport adaptations produced by the Soviet Union. The T-60 was evaluated for airborne deployment using external suspension under aircraft. Its role remained infantry support and reconnaissance. Modifications focused on reducing combat weight. While not widely deployed in this role, it informed later Soviet airborne vehicle development. Glider-based deployment systems. As transport aircraft limitations became clear, glider-based delivery emerged as the primary solution for airborne tanks. Hamilcar glider system developed in the United Kingdom. The Hamilcar was not a tank, but a critical component of airborne armor doctrine. It enabled the delivery of Tetrarch tanks directly to landing zones. Its large internal volume and reinforced structure made airborne tank operations feasible. Hamilcar Locust combination same glider system was adapted to carry the American M22 Locust. This configuration standardized Allied airborne armor deployment. The system's relevance lay in enabling synchronized infantry and armor landings. Post-war Soviet airborne armor doctrine. After World War II, the Soviet Union institutionalized airborne armor as part of its military doctrine. Su-57 designed by the Soviet Union. The Su-57 was a light airborne assault gun rather than a conventional tank. Its role was direct fire support for airborne troops. Armed with a 57mm gun and designed for parachute delivery, prioritized weight reduction. Its effectiveness came from its compatibility with airborne insertion methods. Su-85 developed as a successor to the Su-57. The Su-85 featured heavier armor and an 85mm gun. Its role expanded to include anti-armor combat. It could be airlifted and deployed via parachute extraction. Its continued relevance was its balance between firepower and air transportability. Western airborne light armor development. Western nations pursued different approaches, focusing on transport aircraft rather than gliders. M56 Scorpion developed in the United States. The M56 was a lightweight self-propelled anti-tank vehicle. Its role was airborne anti-armor support. While lacking armor protection, its low mass allowed parachute deployment. It demonstrated a minimalist approach to airborne firepower. Sheridan M551 Airborne role manufactured by the United States. The M551 Sheridan was designed with airborne deployment in mind. Its primary role was reconnaissance and light armor support. Aluminum armor and a lightweight gun launcher system allowed air transport. Its relevance lay in being one of the few tanks routinely certified for airborne operations. Cold War specialized airborne tank designs. As transport aircraft improved, airborne tanks became more sophisticated. BMD-1 developed by the Soviet Union. The BMD-1 was a fully tracked airborne infantry fighting vehicle with tank-like firepower. Its role included airborne assault and infantry support. Designed for parachute deployment with crew on board, it represented a major advancement in airborne armor integration. BMD-2 an evolution of the BMD-1. The BMD-2 featured improved armament and fire control. Its role remained airborne mechanized support. Compact dimensions and reduced weight maintained air transport compatibility. BMD-3 produced in the late Cold War period. The BMD-3 incorporated heavier armament and better protection. It maintained full airborne deployment capability. Its relevance was extending airborne armored capabilities into modern combined arms operations. Experimental and limited service designs. Several designs reached prototype year limited service stages. PT-76 air transport evaluations. The Soviet PT-76 amphibious tank was evaluated for air transport, though not fully airborne deployable. Its lightweight design allowed strategic airlift. Its role remained reconnaissance and amphibious assault. French MX-13 airlift configurations peeled in France. The MX-13 was designed with air transport in mind. While not parachute deployed, its low weight allowed rapid airlift. Its relevance was operational flexibility rather than direct airborne insertion. Transition to modular airborne armor. By the late Cold War, airborne armor doctrine shifted toward modular and multi-role vehicles rather than dedicated flying tanks. BMD-4 developed by Russia. The BMD-4 integrated advanced weapon systems with full airborne deployability. Its role included fire support, anti-armor combat, and troop transport. Its continued relevance lies in representing the mature form of airborne armored design. This complete catalog has documented every known light tank and tank-like armored vehicle designed to fly on aircraft or operate as part of airborne insertion systems. From experimental glider tanks to modern parachute deployable platforms, these vehicles illustrate a continuous effort to combine armor and air mobility. Together, they form a comprehensive reference record of airborne light tank development.